What's up guys, I'm Sloth here, back with some Magic the Gathering content. Today, we are talking SHEOLDRED. So SHEOLDRED is 3 mana of any color and 2 black for a 4/5 legendary creature Phyrexian Praetor with Menace. And whenever SHEOLDRED enters the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature or planeswalker. Now, 5 mana, exile SHEOLDRED, then return it to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control. Activate only as a sorcery, and only if an opponent has 8 or more cards in their hand. Now, the backside, I could not find a version in English. I've looked everywhere and I just could not find it. So this is the art, and then the abilities are: Chapter 1, for each opponent, destroy target creature or planeswalker that player controls. Chapter 2, each opponent discards 3 cards and mills 3. Chapter 3, exile SHEOLDRED and return it to the battlefield transform. Return all creatures in all graveyards to the battlefield under your control. So let's talk standard. This is a pretty interesting card because we all seen how strong Lily is, and she has the same ability to make your opponent sacrifice a creature. The thing that Lily has above SHEOLDRED is that she comes in way earlier, which is way better against the mono red that is everywhere right now. Just like Lily, it pairs really well with Cutdown, because Cutdown is really good at killing small creatures, and if you kill their small creatures, then they'll only have big ones left and they'll have to sacrifice it. It also has an okay toughness, which is really important to stabilize against aggressive decks, just to make sure that she can block, but it's not that big. And if you're against a mono green deck, at that point they probably will have bigger creatures than her, so it's okay. I like the fact that she can take out planeswalkers too, because normally when you give your opponent more options what to sacrifice, it's worse, but in this case, planeswalkers are normally really big, so they will only sacrifice them if they have to. So it doesn't make the choice worse, but it makes it more flexible, because if they only have a planeswalker, then this will give you a lot of value. The problem is that most planeswalkers actually make creatures, so they'll just sack the creature they made instead of the planeswalker. Now, her flip ability is interesting, to say the least, because I think the big problem in Standard is that these 2 cards see a lot of play, especially the Graveyard Trespasser. Graveyard Trespasser is pretty much in every single black deck, because it is so good at dealing with mono red. It gains your life, it's hard to kill, and it takes away the important graveyard shenanigans. So it's everywhere, and it will eat up the graveyard so fast. If SHEOLDRED sees a lot of play, then Graveyard Trespasser will see even more play, and it'll be really difficult to get to the 8 cards in the grave from your opponent. On the other hand, SHEOLDRED is good against Trespasser because it's one way of killing it without targeting it, because you'll make it sacrifice. So that is interesting. And then when she flips, of course, all the Praetors, when they flip, they're really strong. But the problem with all Praetors is your opponents can kill it in response to you flipping it. So you would have spent 10 mana and they can use a 2 mana spell to take it out, which will feel really bad. And then the first chapter is okay. I mean, killing any creature could be really powerful. The second chapter is really good if you're playing any kind of control deck, but maybe at that point your opponents won't have that many cards in hand, so they might not discard any, especially with cards like Lily, who makes their hand really small to begin with. And then the last one could be very strong. If you flip, they already have 8 cards in their grave, and then you killed something and then you made them discard and mill 3, so there should be a lot of cards in the grave. And it also gets stuff from your grave, which could be really powerful. I think the 3rd chapter is easily the strongest, and then she'll come back into play and then trigger her ability again to make your opponent sacrifice a non-token creature. So I think this card has some potential in Standard, but I don't think it is broken. I would not be surprised if it didn't see any play, but I still think I might see it somewhere around there. Her real power is in Commander. She is crazy because there's one important line of text on all of these abilities, is that it does it for each opponent. So when she comes in, each opponent has to sacrifice. When she flips, you can destroy a creature for each opponent. Each opponent has to discard. And then if you're playing a big game with 3 to 5 players, there'll be way more cards in the grave for you to bring back and put into, especially after you put them through all of this pain. And also getting 8 cards in the grave isn't as hard. Let's say you have 3 opponents, you're in a 4 or 4 opponents. There's way more chances that one of them will have 8 cards in their grave. So it's a lot easier to flip. So I think this card, honestly, is a Commander All-Star. This card is so powerful in Commander, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see it. That is all I have to say, Sheoldred. She is honestly such a cool card. I can't wait to play it in every single black Commander deck I will ever make. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And please tell me what cards you want me to review. And also if you have tips and tricks about how I can make my videos better. I'm very new at this, so I would love your feedback. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Have a good one.